So you want to be a landlord, huh? Let me tell you, it takes a special set of skills to be a landlord for sure. Let's talk about it a little bit, about what all this paperwork means and what your rights are as a landlord. So in the state of Florida, we definitely are more of a tenant-friendly state, which means that tenants have a lot of rights that you as a landlord might not have. That's why we always prepare a lease, and our leases are like 32 pages long. They're really long leases because they want to make sure they cover everything. They want to make sure you're covered and the tenant's covered. Now, let's talk a little bit about what houses are great for tenants to go into. If you have a beloved family home that you've owned for generations and it's really special to you and your grandpa built it back in 1909, probably not where you want to put a tenant. Tenants are pretty famous for destroying property. They don't care for the property the way you care for the property. It's not theirs. They don't have that emotional connection to it a way the owner would have an emotional connection to it. Another thing would be if it was a condo and there's definitely some HOA rules around that you have to obey. Tenants don't always like to obey the HOA rules, and sometimes you as a landlord might get a little no-no slip from the HOA saying this needs to be corrected. That's another reason you might not want to be a landlord. If you have no risk tolerance for a tenant not paying, if this is my case, if you have too tender of a heart and you buy every sob story, because trust me, every tenant has a sob story why they can't pay rent. If that's the case and you feel like you can't say, I'm sorry that happened to you, but you still got to pay your rent on time, it might not be a landlord. That might not be a good thing for you. But if you want to get wealthy fast, buying real estate is the way to go. Now, I would suggest that you find the best tenants, and our company actually helps place tenants by making sure they have 3 times the income, making sure they have a credit score of at least 640, making sure they put first security and last down on the whatever the property is, so that you know that you have lots of money of theirs in the bank, correct? And that they can even afford triple the rent, right? They got to be able to do that. You got to verify their employment with their employers. You got to talk to the last landlord, make sure that they always paid the last landlord okay, because if they do it to them, they're going to do it to you. There's a whole list of things you got to make sure that you have the stomach for if you want to be a landlord. But if you want to get wealthy fast, buying real estate is definitely the way to do it. Well, there's the scoop. Edna Wilson, your hometown realtor, as hometown as apple pie.